Getting in the storage auction business in 2013. The game has changed. There's storage wars. There's auction hunters. And there's got godforsaken show, storage hunters. It's never, ever going to go back to the way it was when I first entered the storage auction business. It's not going to happen. Does that mean you can't make any money? No, you can actually still make a lot of money. But there's a few things you need to understand. The first and foremost thing that you should wrap your head around and hug very tightly is expectations. Watching the shows actually gives you a false sense of reality. Many people will debate, well, of course I knew the show was fake. And it's not really like that, but ever since Dave Hester came out with his announcement about sorting of the units, planning stuff in the units, the wars on the internet forums have been deep and intense. People don't invest that type of emotion in something they don't care about. There's people that believe the shows are real. There's people that know the shows aren't. But even with all of that said, many people enjoy the shows. I don't think Dave's announcement's really going to hurt the shows. I think there'll be Storage Wars New York, Storage Wars whatever, and they're going to keep popping out these franchises. But it's kind of like when that quarterback does that double pump and freezes the corners and make the linebackers all pause. There's a lot of people that were like, well, I think I'm going to give it a shot. Yeah. Now they're like, like they do on the show. They're not going to come out there. Which means for you, there's a lot of opportunity. So once you gather your expectations, and let me give you some material to work with your expectations, it's going to be a slow process. Meaning 6 months to 18 months before your business is really percolating. 6 months, if you're really good, you jump into it full time. I've seen it. I've seen the pay sheets. I've seen the PayPal account screenshots. It's possible. But with that, usually these are people who have a lot of time. If you have a job, you're out of that group. To the second part of getting into business, 2013, you need to make a decision. Are you going to be a part-timer or are you going to be a full-timer? You need to make that decision soon as possible. Because by making that decision, you're going to build your business totally different if you know you're going to do it full-time. If you're going to be a perpetual part-timer, cool, hats off to you. You can have fun for years. Just go out there whenever you want to. But don't get pissed and don't get mad and don't get salty if you're not getting the great units or the nice units or not hitting as often as someone who's out there 5 days a week. Come on, player, that's stupid. But I see this like, yeah, man, I go out once a month for the last year, I ain't get shit. So, should I cry you some tears of pity? I think not. You didn't really invest a lot in the game, so why are you mad because the game's not giving you a lot back? Come on. As they say on that ESPN, come on, man. So you got your expectations and you're setting goals. The third thing, if you're going to be real about this, you got to have a truck. At some point, you got to have at least a full-size pickup truck or a van with a hitch. At a minimum. At a minimum. I started in the business for the first year using my car and renting vehicles. And really, would have made a lot more money if I just broke down, bought the truck. Because rental fees were $400, $500, $600, $700 a month sometimes. And at one point, my partner was like, this is a note on the truck. So you got to do that because you're going to find yourself treading water. You're going to be in this spot, and if you're not careful, you'll be in that spot for years. I saw it. And, when I came up with my truck, people were like, yeah, I've been thinking about getting the truck for 5 years. This is what people would tell me. They've been thinking about getting the truck for 5 years. If you do not have the proper tools, it's going to be very hard for you to maintain and build your business. Number 3. Not number 3, but this should actually be up with expectations. I'm going to say something, and you're probably going to turn off the video. you're probably just going to stop watching my videos. You're going to lose money. At some point in the storage auction game, either the front end, the middle, and later on, you are going to lose money on a unit. You're going to buy a unit, and it's going to be trash. You're going to buy a unit, you're going to think it's great, and it's going to be damaged. You're going to buy a unit, and it's going to look good, pull stuff out, the shit doesn't work. You will lose money. Oh, you're still here? Okay. With that, that means that you're stretching yourself, you're taking a few chances, and you will hit some units that will make up for the losses. Because I was in that spot where it's like, okay, I bought this unit, it was $350. I've only made $250, and I'm just trying to pull out that last $100 when I got a unit that I bought for $50 that's made me $400, but I'm still over here. Sometimes you just gotta, like, it is what it is, move on, keep buying, keep selling. Your money's gotta be in a circle. None of this, bought a unit, sell, 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 sell. You gotta keep buying and selling, keep buying and selling, because if you're out there acquiring inventory on a consistent basis, you're gonna come across some nice hits that are gonna make up for those dribs and drabs. That's why you always have to have a budget. You must have a significant budget. Which brings me to the next thing that you must do. People say, how much money do I need to get into the storage auction game? When I first started doing these videos, 2009, 2010, 500, 1500, you were golden. Then it kind of edged up, 3,000, you were still golden. You need about 5,000 cash. And let me say cash. Not on your credit card, not in your 401k, not under your Aunt Sally's mattress, because that's not your money. That's hers. Don't count it. $5,000. Break down to that $5,000. Split it up. 2,500 here, 2,500 there. You got 2,500 to buy. You hold on to that other 2,500 for better units, because opportunity never sleeps. You may sleep, but opportunity never sleeps. And I've seen it. Because when I first got in the game, I would blow my money, and I swear, I would come across this unit that would go for a third of what I had paid. And I knew the money was just literally dripping off the unit. I mean, dollar bills were sticking out of the corners. I'm just like, it was really frustrating. So you got to have like a reserve pot to buy better units, because you'll go out there and you'll see units that are good units. But you only have X amount of dollars. So if you only have X amount of dollars, you will miss opportunities on the back end. I'm telling you, I did it too long, and it took a minute, and after that first year, that didn't happen no more. Well, I had a few wonderful events that happened, but that didn't happen anymore, because you got to have pockets of budgets. Your operating cost, for fuel, lunch, all that stuff's on a separate sheet. And if you keep really good records, it's tax deductible. For real, no lie, it is. So, get yourself some type of financial person. Or if you don't want to go out hire an accountant, take a week, 3 to 4 hours a day, and start studying tax laws. Because this country was built on tax laws. This country is for people who own businesses, who are entrepreneurs, who have investments. Because I'll share some with you. I'm a self-employed person. I can put up to 40% of what I make in a SEP, which is a self-employment pension. Now, say I was married and my wife had a regular job. Because I'm self-employed, all that stuff that I can do would actually offset her taxes, and she would get a bigger refund. That's how powerful owning your own business is. So you got to get financial with that. Even if you go into the storage auction game and lose your ass the whole year and you have a job, if you document it correctly, you have receipts, you can offset your earned income tax bill significantly. significantly. You could be like Mitt Romney paying 15%. People mad at Mitt. I am no longer a hater. I am a relator. I'm like, how did Mitt do that there? Well, I already knew how he did it because I've been doing it for years. So there's another little wrinkle in there if you're serious. If you're just one of those wide-eyed, wow factor people, this is, it's going over your head, Bruno. It's just going over your head. But by making these decisions and having these goals, there's a lot of ways that you can impact your pocketbook, whether you win or lose in the storage auction game, in a favorable manner. So now this is another thing, because remember that first decision, if you're going to go full-time or part-time? Because if you're going part-time, most of this video is not for you. Most of it's not for you because there's nothing you can do with it. You just go out there and buy a unit, and if you make money, if you don't, oh well. But if you're full-time or you almost full-time, then this other thing, you must get space. 3,000 to 5,000 square feet. I don't care if it's a barn. I don't care if you take 8 double wides and slam those bitches together. You need space to store, operate, and ship from. Because going forward, 2013, it's going to be kind of hard to really do, working from your apartment or your house. It's just going to be very, very hard. And with a lot of the things that are going on, since the world now knows that there are great things in storage auctions, and there are, because that whole thing, like, if it was me, I would never, ever lose anything that's wonderful and nice. It just doesn't make any sense, because you're a Monday morning quarterbacking. You're doing it after the fact. Guarantee you, if you lost your job, your wife was sick, and you had to make a difference of paying for her medicine or paying for that unit full of stuff you don't need, the wife's going to get the medicine. There's all kinds of situations that go on where people have nice stuff, but there's other things going on in their lives that they can't pay that bill. I've seen it. I've heard it. I've read the paperwork, the medical records, all kinds of things. But you got to have space. You have got to have space. Then you need a plan. You really need a plan. And you need a 3-month plan, a 6-month plan, a 9-month plan, and a year plan, and a 5-year plan. Because I have watched some people that just took this, and I've talked to them for 3 years. And I know where there's some people who started with absolutely nothing. They didn't have any storage auction knowledge. They didn't even have a truck. And a lot of these people own stores now. 3 years. In less time than it takes to get a 4-year degree, because the average 4-year degree takes 5.5 years to get. And for less money, these people have stores. And even if these stores are long-term concerns or not, the lessons that they are learning will benefit them for the rest of their lives. That's some powerful shit. That's some powerful shit. And also on that tax angle, if, you've got a mate who has a regular job and you got that business, get yourself a good accountant. You will be amazed at what you can do with that business to put more money in your pocket legally. I'm not talking about any schemes. I'm not talking about shading anything. I'm not talking about lying. The tax code is written for business owners and investors. It's created by those people. That's why you'll never, ever truly tax the rich. They can go, fiscal cliff and talk all this other stuff and raise it. The people with money already know that they are good to go because the tax code is so convoluted, it would take a decade to straighten out if there was earnest and real interest in doing so. And there's not. So if you can't beat them, join them. I forget the guy's name, but he said he wanted less corruption, and if not less corruption, more opportunity to participate in the corruption as it is. That's the tax code. That's the tax code. So that's really getting in the storage auction business in 2013. You have to buy. You have to buy. You have to sell. And understand, buying a unit is easy. It's the moving and it's the selling of the contents. That's the tricky part. You master those two things and become very efficient and build a business structure that handles a lot of volume. you'll make six figures. It's about volume. It's about scale. It's about management. And that's how you can do it. With 2013 and with the shows and, going back to Dave's announcement, a lot of people, they're not coming out. They were already skeptical and they were like, count on the fence. Well, maybe leg across the fence. And when Dave said, that shit's fake, 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 that leg came back over and they went back in the house and poured a glass of sweet tea and just turned on the tube. I'm just going to watch these people. I'm not going to do that. So for you who are going out there, and understand, before Dave made that announcement, attendance was coming down. The ratings of the show were coming down. So we were already trending toward less people out there anyway. What he did, and for all you people who hate Dave, Dave did you a solid. Dave is just he pushed a whole bunch of people that were coming down the store. He made them go home. So you need to go, hey Dave, thanks, bro, because he helped you out. Because this thing, I'm telling you, the fights and the craziness that's gone on about this, and it's still going on. I just put that video up a week ago, and it's already got 6,000 hits. So believe what you want. Storage at Wars has generated a huge amount of publicity about this business, and it's the #1 darling. But with that, just check out the video. There will be a podcast about this because, I'm going to talk about, because each one of the things, there's the new, yeah, that's right, the new storage auction blog, storage auction Shogun, storage auction advice for non-wimpy ass people. So if you don't like cussing, don't go there. If you don't like blunt truth, don't go there. And the podcast is explicit. So enough said. All right, this is Glendon, and I'll see you on the other side. Check out my new audiobook, The Journey to Storage Auction Success. You can get it at storageauctionshogun.com. Coming soon, Pimping Craigslist for Fun and Profit, the Chrome edition. This book will be unlike anything I've ever done before.